This is the podcast about nothing with your host, Leo Black, the unfiltered voice.
Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is a podcast about nothing, and I'm your host, Leo Black, and this is an exciting episode of the show. Thank God it's not our episode. Thank God we're here again, and yeah, man, it's been quite a week. It's quite a week for me, and yeah, man, I'm just here today. Nothing much really. I'm here to just share a little bit of stuff. It's been a crazy week, honestly. It's been such a crazy week, and there's so many things that I've been thinking about of late. Trying to introspect a bit, you know. Yeah, man. To keep you guys in the loop, those who don't know and probably wouldn't have known because I haven't made this public, and few people kind of know this and what kind of happened to me in last week. Last week was in a very traumatic situation. I was involved in a car accident and my car was wrecked, and I'll show you the pictures. It was a crazy experience, man. That experience kind of took me aback a bit. Kind of made me kind of reflect on things in life, you know, that we maybe sort of kind of take it for granted. But more than anything, I'm just grateful the fact that I'm still here, able to sit in front of you guys and share the story, you know. More than anything, I'm not trying to talk about the accident itself, but I'm just trying to talk about generally the things that you go through and how living kind of makes us forget the importance of life itself, you know. How we sort of maybe go as if a day is guaranteed for us, whereas it's not, you know. So it just kind of come to highlight what's the most important thing in life, which is life, you know, itself. So I'm very much grateful that I'm still alive. If you saw you've really seen the pictures by now, you would see that it was not a nice or small, it was a hectic accident. My car is a write-off right now. But yeah, man, today's episode, I just want to talk about a couple of stuff, you know. Today I just want to talk about loss, you know, loss itself, you know. What is a loss? It's something that you lose, simple term, you lose something that you had and then you lose it, you know. Could be life, could be money, it could be an asset or a possession that you had. It could be anything, you know. I just really want us to talk about that because there's so many things that you lose in life, and we are still able to try and find other things that we want in our lives, you know. We lose money, we lose assets, we lose people, and we lose relationships, we lose partners, we lose there's so many things that you lose, you know. It's more than just a position, an asset, or whatever, or money that we lose a lot of stuff as human beings. And if you're going to live this life thing, you're going to go through a loss of some kind, you know. And if you go through a loss, you will be you'll be experiencing all kinds of emotional experiences, and sometimes are not ideal, sometimes are very difficult to deal with, and sometimes maybe are not very easy to adjust to, you know. And where I'm going with this is more especially for me. I nearly lost my life, so that's something I can tell you right now, that life is the most precious thing ever, you know. You can never really replace life. You can replace an asset, you can replace money, you can replace any other thing, but life can never be replaced. And that's what I want to talk about. You know, I feel like as people, we kind of forget the importance of life, and we forget the things that you should be focusing in life, which are very much more valuable, you know. And I know it's kind of crazy that I'm talking about this, and soon after I had my experience, you know, guys, I really thought I was going to die that day, you know. I literally saw my life flash before my eyes, you know. Ironic enough, the car that I got in an accident with was black, and everything just went black after that, you know. It was super crazy. you know, when you get into such a situation, you feel like like you ask yourself after you've got out of it, so like, how, you know, you don't understand how, you know. And that's the beauty of God, guys. Like, God is there. Like, He provides guidance. He provides a lot, safety for us. The life that we live every day. He is the reason we actually able to wake up every morning. And when we wake up in the morning, every morning, we survive these kind of accidents that we encounter, you know. And that's what I want to talk about. Like, you know, I'm not trying to preach. I'm not trying to have sermon over like that. I know it's kind of all over the place right now because I'm just, as I'm speaking, I'm gathering my thoughts as well. So I didn't even prepare anything today. So I'm freestyling, you know. So the thing is that I want to talk about is like life in general. Like we need to acknowledge the loss, you know, when we've encountered any loss, be it a person, be it money, be it something. And like any loss need that attention for you to acknowledge it, you know. And if you have encountered that loss, if you don't go through that phase, you will always fall in the same trap all over again because you didn't take time to appreciate the fact that there's something that has happened into your life and that you need to deal with on its own, you know, because you can't just go like nothing has happened. For example, relationships they need you to be able to, like, when you lose someone, be it a partner or a friend or whatever, you need to kind of like deal with that loss in a sense, you know. Some people really jump from one relationship to another and everything, and they feel like, yo man, that's how they deal with it. As much as like they are dealing with it in that manner, maybe it's working for them, but at some point it's gonna backfire, you know, because you can never replace a relationship with another relationship because there is impacts that's gonna have on you, like emotionally, physically, or mentally, or whatever. You know, the way you look at life is gonna be different because of the past traumas that you've experienced. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think each loss deserve you to like reflect and look back and see how you could improve, how you could learn from the situation, how you could take a positive out of the situation. Because as much as there is a loss, which is a negative impact in your life, there is a positive there. You will have a positive in that loss. Let me tell you, because be it you losing a friend or you losing a partner, you losing them at that moment in the situation could have prevented you committing furthermore to the situation or that friendship. I'm not talking about losing them in the form of death or whatever. Maybe losing them because there was a fight or whatever, that maybe there's something that happened between the two of you that caused a rift and you're no longer like in good terms. Then if you had not known, or that thing had not happened, you wouldn't have known the kind of friend that you were dealing with, or the kind of lover that you were with, or you were planning to marry, or you were planning to have kids with, you know. Because, you know, some people realize very late in life that and they married a completely different person that they may have thought they were marrying. And some people realize very late that they are dating or they are having a child with a person who they're not even capable of being a parent to the child, you know, because people are not able to have certain conversations to maybe see if this person is able to be a parent or to a child. Because I don't think there's anyone who was born knowing that they can be a parent or not, but we can tell someone if they are able to be a parent or they have qualities that they can be a very good parent to a child, you know. So that's my situation right now, is like, yo, as much as we lose people, we lose things, give yourself time, man, like to reflect. Like, I don't want to say moan, you know, like I don't like using the word like people moaning in a relationship or like that, but like I feel like there's like you need to grieve that, a grieving period. Like, it's not like you're gonna be there sobbing, crying and everything, but no, it's like literally like if you watch football, you know, football, after each and every other defeat, the coach need to go back to the drawing board and see where it went wrong, you know, so they cannot make the same mistakes again. Same with life. In life, you need to go back to a drawing board time and time again to see where your pieces might have gone wrong, you know, and so you can swap them around and maybe use them in a different way and everything. So you can now know it's okay. I need to look at life in this way or do things in that way, you know, because we can't always be using one and the same way of living life to deal with situations, because situations are different. So each situation requires you to be able to learn, and also like as you learn as well, you to utilize new information that you've obtained from the previous experience, So yeah, man. The craziest thing that I encountered the couple of days was that many people, bro, like, are staying in these broken situations, and I don't know why they do. And maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's security that they maybe that's causing them to stay in those relationships or situationships. I for one always encourage people to leave toxic relationships, always to leave any other relationship that is really not beneficial to them. Stop staying loyal to things that are not beneficial to you. Stop staying in situations that are really, really affecting you badly in your life, and they're affecting you negatively in your life. Focus on things that will better you. Focus on things that will make you a different person tomorrow, a very much a different version of a better version of yourself than you were. Because some people stay in situation, they're gonna deteriorate themselves. Like you're gonna deteriorate. The quality of life that you used to live is not gonna be the same. The things that you love anymore, they don't no longer excite you because of the situation or the quality of life that you're living. It's important to maintain the quality of life that is good for you, and improve as you grow, as you go as well. Because if now you deteriorate and you don't enjoy any of the things in life, you are good as dead, bro. Like, because you're no longer living, you're just existing in this world, because there's a difference between living and existing. You exist because you're here, but living, you can't, you are not doing that because you are no longer like serving your purpose of you being here, so that's why it's important for you to be able to like know when you are no longer living. Check your pulse, like check yourself. I'm like, am I still here for the right reasons, And I'm not saying when you don't find the purpose of you, like you're living in, and then now you must now think it's okay, you deserve to die. No, you don't deserve to die. You need to reevaluate your life. You need to look at the things that you're doing that are no longer serving you, to like chuck them out of the way, and look at the things that are now going to be able to enhance your life. Things that are going to be able to provide that quality of life that you once had, or you've always wanted, So that's the thing that I want to overemphasize, like, and when I see people staying in toxic relationships, and let me tell you, there's so many people in fucked up relationships, and I'm single. I'm a single person, and it scares me, like to a point where like I feel like, where I hear stories of people like contemplating divorce, when I hear people contemplating leaving a partner of many years and everything, because it's not good anymore. It scares me, because I'm trying to think what kind of relationship I'm gonna have with whomever that I'm gonna be with, because it's crazy that any people are literally living that kind of life that it's not very much quality. They don't live a quality life anymore. They live a life that is really terrible, I have to say. And I never see a relationship as something where I feel like I had to lose myself, I have to compromise myself. I feel that's where I need to, like, become a better version of myself, because I am this incredible person that I'm marrying or that I'm dating, who's gonna be my light, and whom I'm gonna be able to also share the same light to her. So we uplifting each other here. We're not pushing each other down. But I feel like relationships are more of the opposite of lifting each other up than anything. So it's so crazy for me, like, about, because when I'm now sitting down, I'm like, yo, am I ever gonna get into a situation where I feel like I'm in a relationship with someone and I feel like we are literally gonna be like the happiest, I don't know if that's possible. at this time in life. But maybe I'm just looking at other people's life and thinking maybe that the same thing's gonna happen. Maybe I'm gonna experience something different. But it's worth to think about that. What kind of a life that you want to have with a certain person, so that when you are like seeing you are in a relationship or with someone, or you get into a relationship with someone, you know already what you want. There's nothing as frustrating than meeting someone who don't know what they want and what they stand for. I've been dating. I've been going on dates, and I've been seeing people and stuff like that. And the most common thing that I've always like encountered whenever I'm going on these dates and seeing these people, talking with these people, is because people always want the thing that that look cool because they see other people talk about them. But you just never get to understand what kind of individual the person is. Like, what do they stand for? What is their what is it that they believe in? Like, what makes them as a person? People lack that, and I feel like it's something that people should literally try and visit. For me, I know what I want. And whenever I see a situation that this is not what I want, I will let you know. You will know off the bat. You will know for a fact that no, this is not it. And I always say this to myself, like, if I am honest with myself, I can be honest with anybody else. I will not be scared to say certain things that I feel like maybe they might hurt you or anything. As much as like maybe things are going to be hurtful, I just have to find a way not to say them in a hurtful way, So I always say, always go for what you want, always go for what you need, and look at the things that are very much important, because at the end of the day, you will always have to go back to yourself every day. You can go spend time with friends, spend time with everybody, but at the end of the day, you need to go home to you and realize who the person that you're going home to is. Because if you're going home and you don't recognize the person that you are gonna be with, which is yourself, then it's gonna be a problem, because you probably won't be able to look at yourself in the mirror and like say, yo, this is me. We lose our identity over stupid things that we go through and that we face. And I've made so many losses in life. I've lost so many things. I've lost things let me tell you, like, in the past 5 years, the things that I've dealt with all kinds of losses. I've lost a loved one through death. I've lost a partner. I've lost possessions. I've lost money, and I've lost friends. 5 things I can literally tell you that I've lost in the last 5 years. I've probably dealt with the loss of a loved one in a very, very, it broke my heart. It broke me in such a way that I didn't think I could literally live beyond it. I lost a loved one, someone whom I had thought I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person, and had literally had plans, everything, like I was like, yeah, this is it. And that loss broke me, bro. And I feel like when you encounter those situations, because I remember straight after when I think I spoke about it in my other episode of my podcast. I think the live podcast that I was speaking about. Like, after that, I literally wanted to get into another relationship with another person. And that's when I realized, like, no, give yourself time. Like, give yourself time, bro. Like, this thing you anywhere now, you are still back in the dating scene and everything, you're back in the market, is not gonna help. Because that's what people do. Like, I did it, bro. That thing, I think it's a first. They say there are 3 stages of grief. There's in denial, there's the realization, and there's literally the now, where you literally now getting over the person. So I think when you first stage of grief, that's where you're trying to, like, in denial, like, no, I'm not hurt, I'm not everything. That's where now sick to be with these many people, sick to be with these people. You never like to be alone. You never want to be with yourself. You just want to be around people all the time. And that's why I always say, people will always do that to not sit in a situation where like they are gonna be alone and having to listen to their thoughts. And bro, it's not easy. It's hard when you have to listen to your thoughts. There are many things that like come to your mind. Some people go through so many things emotionally that they feel like they want to kill themselves, of which I wouldn't recommend to anyone do it. Seek help. Always try to speak to someone. Always try to have a situation where like you can be able to like find you someone that you can talk to. So yeah, man, I always say this. In those 5 things that I've lost, that I've mentioned, I've dealt with each differently. With my passing of my grandma, it was her. She passed away like 2020, yeah. And when she passed, it was such a sudden death. We didn't expect it to happen, but she was okay. Next minute, she's hospital. She's having these complications and everything, and it was during COVID, so we couldn't see her. And next thing we hear, she's no more. So that's the kind of situation that we had to deal with. But more than anything, that we need to understand is that I dealt with it, And the craziest thing, soon after losing my grandma, I lost my partner. I nearly lost my child also. All those things that happened right around the same time. So it's so crazy, man. And I had to deal with that like the whole time, like the whole time, and had to face that. And it happened really, really I don't know, man. Yo. One, two. Yo, I think I kind of got lost there. Sorry. But yeah, man, I had to deal with that, like all of it happening all at the same time. So I had to deal with a lot of stuff. I had to deal with a lot of shit and stuff like that. And I dealt with it. And I took time to myself. I didn't want to go on date. Didn't want to date for like a year or so. Chilled and did things. And that's when now I realize I'm like, it's important to take care of yourself. Like, focus on yourself. Build yourself. Self-care is important, guys. Like, never compromise your mental for anything or for anybody. Like, people literally go through mental health issues because of certain things that they allow themselves to happen to them sometimes. And I know sometimes there are situations that you can never avoid, like maybe at work you are going through something, and at work it's very like toxic and everything, and you can't quit because it's your only way to survive, so you kind of feel like you are stuck in the situation. I know how that feels like, and it's a very helpless situation, like where you feel like you can't get out of it, because if the only way of getting out of is like leaving and quitting the job, and when you quit, what's gonna happen? How are you gonna sustain yourself? How are you gonna feed yourself? How are you gonna do these things that you're able to do? How are you gonna support your family and stuff like that? Then now you are forced to stay in very unfavorable situations or things that are no longer important, like are no longer helpful to you, But I always say, if we have control, minimize the things that are gonna be affecting you mentally and negatively in life. You need to give them less time. You need to give them zero opportunity to be part of your life, because the more you give them space in your life, or the more you give them sense of the more you give them an idea that they will literally have a room in your life, they will stay there and they will eat you up. So yeah, man, I've been rambling a lot. I haven't done something like this. I feel like I need to speak from the heart today, because like I just felt like I needed to speak and to get some of the things out of my mind, out of my heart and everything. I'm so lucky though. Like I just want to say that a lot. I'm so lucky that I'm still alive, I'm still breathing, and I can still wake up and smell the fresh air outside and be able to live and see that, yeah, no, life is amazing, guys. Life is worth living, bro. Like, live your life, guys. More than anything, never lose an opportunity. Impilo is to be lived more than anything. Stop waiting for the right time to live your life. Stop waiting for that thing to happen before you live your life. Start living now, because you don't know if that time will ever come. The more you prolong this, the longer maybe it's never gonna come, because you are waiting for something that you don't know if it's ever gonna come or not. Do me a favor today. Whatever loss you're dealing with, whatever situation you're dealing with at home, at work, or whatever, in a relationship, in whatever, remember this. You are special, you are precious, you are important, you matter. Remind yourself that every day, and you will know what to do in those situations, and you will start living your life accordingly, and you will start living and stop existing alone. You need to exist while you're living your life. Make sure that is what you're gonna be doing from here onwards. 2023 is still like 3 months in, 4 months in. There's still 8 more months left for you to change your life around. It's not all loss or crazy or it's done or anything like that. Anything can change right now. Anything can change. Like anything can change, bro. There's still a lot of time. Do something great for yourself. Do something. Like, even if you feel like you are not doing it, you feel like you're not working enough in anything. You know, sometimes I sit on this podcast, prepare for anything like that. And obviously, I don't get gang views and everything like that. But that doesn't bother me, because I'm doing what I love, you know. And I'm tired of putting things that I want to do for whenever. I don't know when. Because I love speaking. I love talking. Even though with my broken English, I still want to express myself, you know, because I want to speak what I'm feeling. That's my calling, I believe, and that's what I want to do. And if now I'm gonna wait for the right time, for the right person to like what, to see me or to hear me, then now I'm gonna be heading for that call. I can't wait for that. I feel like I need to do something right now, because I have means, I have resources to do it. You know, it only takes this mic and this camera for me to come up and say something that I want to say and put it out online. Whoever consumes it, it's either 2 people or 10 people or 1 person. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, I did what I was supposed to do, that I'm supposed to do with my life. And that's what is important to me, because if I'm not doing what I am happy to do, I'm not doing anything in life, you know. Do what makes you happy. And this makes me happy. You know, there's a hate train of podcasts and everything right now, because it's seemingly people like, there's so many podcasts starting out. And I don't think that should be an issue, dog. People should choose if they want to listen to your podcast or not. And if you don't want to listen to podcasts, there is an opportunity for you to not to do that. You could watch other things, consume other things. Nobody forces you to do certain things in life, but you do the things that you want to do. So never feel obligated to bash other people's hustle or anything like that, or love or dream and stuff like that. Nobody ever comes and wake up and like, yeah, let me start something just because I want to annoy you. No, nobody is trying to annoy you. You're the one getting annoyed by the things that you should be consuming, you know. So that's the thing I always say. The hate is going to be there for anything that is happening in this world. People, even Jesus had haters, dog. Like, who are you, bro? Jesus had haters. Like, you think, when are you immune? Even Jesus even had people in his squad hating on him. So you can't tell me that hating is going to be the reason why you shouldn't be doing something. And also, you can't be telling me that any fear of failure is the only thing that's going to stop you from doing something, because you will never know failure if you don't do anything, you know. You are fearing something that you don't know. Let's start there. You don't know fear. You don't know failure, actually, but you fear it. But I think the more you do something and then you experience failure, then you will then learn like, okay, even though I failed, there was a lesson in that, And I forgot this. It's Antetokounmpo. Who's an NBA player. I think he will be NBA. He was asked. I think they were knocked out on the finals. In the finals, NBA finals. He was asked by what you call a journalist if they would regard their season as failure, and I like the fact. I like the way he responded. He said, how can you regard a season a failure? Yes, they might not have won, but it's not a failure. And he made a great example is that like Michael Jordan played 15 years in his career. 15 years. And he only won championships 6 times. So if he won the championship six times, the other 9 years were there, like, was he a failure in those 9 years? No. Just because you are not at the top at that year or at the time doesn't mean it's failure. Because we always work towards something, but you know what? Some shit happens. Sometimes you don't get to the top where you want to be, But when you do, make sure you're ready to get there, And he also said, like, if you're working for a job, if you have a job, you want to get a promotion. Does it when you don't get a promotion in that year means that you have failed? No. The fact you're able to provide for your family, provide for yourself, get the things that you love to do, be able to make decisions in life, and then change your life and the others that you are like that you love. That's something that you are winning. That's a win. So that's why you shouldn't look at life in the lenses of failure and winning. Look at it in a way that you are doing something, and whatever that you've put your mind into doing, you are doing it. There is no shame in doing something that you wanted to do. More than anything, I applaud everybody that does something for themselves. You are grinding every day, doing something, and I think you need to give yourself applause for that. I think we are such a very harsh generation. We always want to see glitz and glam. We don't want to talk about the struggles and that we go through in order to get there. We look down on people who are still at the ground grinding. We look down on them, but once they hit at the top, it's like maybe I tell someone I'm a rapper, they're gonna laugh at me. But the moment I pop, I become a global superstar, everybody gonna be like, oh, like, yo, this guy is amazing. He's working. But nobody was trying to hear me when I was telling them like, yo, I got this and everything. So be your first fan first before you seek anybody else to be the fan of your stuff. I'm a fan of myself. I love myself. I'm very much a fan of myself. And thanks to Kanye West, because I learned to be a fan of myself, to love my shit before everybody else, to even watch my own podcast like when it drops, to see if I love what I'm listening at. I just dropped this podcast, like the podcast that I dropped previous one. I didn't want to drop it. I feel like it wasn't the right time. When I did the interview, I felt like I wasn't ready for it. I felt nervous because I think it was my first time. I think this was my first ever interview, because I did that interview, I think it was around like February, like I think when I was literally starting my podcast. So when I dropped when I did that interview with with Flavor, the stripper, I felt like I was nervous. I haven't found my feet yet, and I felt like, and I kind of rushed it and everything. I had to drop it because I want to show myself that even when I'm not perfect, I still need to show out the work, take out the work and everything. I took time to do it. Even if it's not my greatest, I'm going to share it, because I'm not the one to share my greatest work ever. And my podcast hasn't been perfect, but every day I'm learning, as a person who does everything from camera work, editing, the sound, everything, the lighting, like, you know, even when I'm trying to create my studio in my room and everything, like, it's all me. And I'm the only person I got, you know. The people that help me, they come to my podcast, and then I appreciate each and every one of them, you know. And this is just me trying to highlight something that even through losses, even through things that you've lost, even through opportunity that you've lost and went past you and everything, never miss an opportunity where you can actually make it your reality, you know. If you want to change your life, start changing the way you perceive it, you know. Stop looking in a way that, you know, you're always gonna feel like you're waiting for someone to do stuff for you. Start doing shit, you know. There was a quote that is always floating on TikTok, like, start that business in your garage or whatever. I think Stitches Will says it. Stop waiting for someone to pick you up. We live in a digital world. You can literally drop one episode and your podcast would fly. You can literally drop one song and you'll be like, bro, like, it only take one moment and everything will fly, you know. I know sometimes it's hard to motivate yourself, and I struggle with that. Last week, I really didn't, after my accident, I couldn't go to work because I was depressed. I'd lost my car, and, you know, I don't have a car right now, you know, so you're just thinking to yourself, I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna now maneuver, you know? Now when I'm going to a shop, I need to think twice. I'm like, oh, I need to get an Uber, you know? I'm not used to that life, but it's an adjustment, you know? You can live through it, you know? It is, as crazy as it is something you can live through it. I don't think anyone prepares you for a loss in life. That's when it happens, you need to appreciate it. So whenever you are facing another loss in life, you know, okay, I dealt with that and everything. So you'll be able to get up again, you know. There's no time for you to feel sorry for yourself. There's no time for you to feel like you need to change whatever. No. You need to get up and keep going because the world is going, bro. The time never stops and say, yo, Bafana is going through shit, so I need to pause the time for him until he get on his feet. You need to, like, dust yourself immediately and get up and go, bro. And I didn't intend for this to be motivational, but hey, it's getting kind of motivational, but I'm just speaking what I'm feeling inside more than anything, you know. I kind of need a haircut, you know. So this is the thing of not having a car. I can't just drive to my barber like that, you know, like I'm used to it. So I'm not able to do the things that I used to love. It's so fucked up sometimes. Oh, it's so fucked up. But anyway, I'm adjusting. God willingly, I'll get another one and I'll be back, bro. Like I always say, every setback prepares you for another, every setback is preparing you for another opportunity that's gonna be coming through the door, you know. And because your comeback is gonna be stronger, bro. Your comeback is gonna be hard. You just need to be ready for that one. Because if you are not ready, dang, bro, I feel sorry for you. So yeah, man, that's podcast about nothing's episode today. I hope you guys heard what I was saying and you took something out of it, you know. I'm not saying life is perfect. I'm not expecting it to be perfect because it's not. So your life shouldn't be perfect. So live the life according to what you believe in, and do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. Don't impress other people. Don't live life according to smang mang you don't know, or something because you're trying to make them happy, or you're scared what they will say. Fuck them, bro. You only live once and you only live for yourself, bro. And that's that, bro. And that's bars. That is bars I dropped there. Yo, man, I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but yeah, man, that was just for me trying to speak to you guys. And I appreciate you, each and every one of you guys. The ones that sit through these episodes. I know it's not easy, like you listening to someone talking to himself. You know what? I've been trying to seek someone to co-host this shit with me. But you know what? Sometimes finding someone who has the same dream as you is hard. And someone who has the same desire as you is hard. So I don't want to have someone who's going to come when they feel like and what, you know. And also I don't want to impose something to someone who doesn't want to do it. I want someone who wants the same thing, who want to do this the right way, you know. More than anything, I'm okay speaking with myself. And I love hearing the sound of my voice. Anyway, I have a good voice, you know. I have a nice voice. But obviously, as we grow, we will have an opportunity to have a situation where like we grow in this brand. And I started another podcast where I'm gonna be speaking about TV shows and movies and everything. That shit is hard and it look, but I'm enjoying it. I love talking about the shit that I love to watch and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you do watch Maincast podcast as well. And it's not going to be dropping every week, that one. It's going to be dropping every probably second week or twice a month or something, because I want to talk about some things when I've watched and finished them. I don't want to talk about one episode and everything like that. So that's why I'm probably going to be dropping the next episode probably like in May. I'm going to see when, but I'll let you all know. But more than anything, I love you guys and appreciate you. And thank you so much for always being here and watching this show. I know it's probably not the greatest quality and the greatest content you ever seen out there, but the fact that you still watch gives me great joy, you know. And I love each and every one of you. And this is Podcast About Nothing, and I'm your host, Leo Black. Make sure you like and subscribe, and also click the notification bell. And yeah, man, see you next time. And if ever you want to share something with me, drop into your comment section and then write whatever you want to say. And let me tell you, you matter, I matter, we matter. Let's kick it, bro. Peace.